sometimes with activism, you have to learn patience, but at the same time, it's a balance between that and being able to advocate for yourself and asserting yourself in spaces and not being afraid to do so.
Hey guys, I'm Maram. I'm a rising senior at Mills High School.
Hi everyone, my name is Atiya and I am a rising freshman at Berkeley for this fall.
And I'm also a incoming freshman at UC Berkeley.
After acknowledging, that we are in a climate crisis, the resolution sort of dives into specific actionable items that the district will take in order to tackle sustainability. That includes a climate action plan. And so the district essentially commits to combating climate change in areas such as like waste, buildings, transportation, and what's really important is that the declaration keeps the district accountable since they are formally committing to combating climate change. And that ensures that, throughout the whole process, we'll remain transparent with the community and, log all the progress that is made very clearly to ensure that everyone is on the same page, whether it be parents, students, faculty members. And so it was really important to pass this declaration before going in and trying to work on like separate projects because it brings everyone together and makes it as formal as can be.
Yeah, to speak a little bit about having a entity like the district, a big district, with it's about 7 different schools, is a message to send, first of all, for the district's continued support in fighting climate change, and then also bringing the spotlight on sustainability and their efforts of wanting to create strategic planning or to make actual actionable items. And so even though this is just a statement piece with resolution, I think we put in a lot of effort to actually make sure that the pieces of the resolution spoke to the different aspects of climate change or sustainability that the district would target or take a look at and focus on.
The resolution's pretty all-encompassing. My personal favorite part of it is just the expression of the need for a proper environmental literacy program to be established in education systems, just because I think that that would really have a strong effect on just, I mean, I think that understanding how to tackle climate change starts with the individual and having a really good foundation where what an individual's relation is to the rest of the world can be super vital for the future. So I think I'm really excited about that. Our goal was to have all three. We had this resolution and we wanted to focus on education. So our goal was to have all 3 high school districts in the San Mateo County, which is Sequoia Union High School District, San Mateo Union High School District, and Jefferson Union High School District to pass the declaration. And so what our plan was essentially was to take the written template, or I mean, sorry, the written resolution which Lilian as the chair of the Environmental Justice Committee had passed the previous year, and then convert that to a template that we could then share out to students or adults in the different districts and kind of help them from afar gather in groups and kind of bring it up to their own school board. Um, so that was a big project, and we thought it'd be a lot easier than it actually was. But I think our biggest challenge with getting any traction on that was just because this year was so virtual. So it was really hard for us to help gather groups from when we couldn't even gather ourselves. So that it took a couple of months of us just like emailing out, revising the template, figuring out what we wanted to do. And then we still didn't have a really clear plan of how we were going to achieve the goal and when. But then Ram and Lilian can also explain more on the San Mateo Union High School District Sustainability Committee, which is what really helped us gain a lot of traction on this. So I'll just mention what the committee is called and they can further expand on it. But basically, I go to San Mateo, I went to San Mateo High School, and Ron and Lillian both went to Mills. Maram goes to Mills, which is in the San Mateo Union High School District. So in about November, I think the Sustainability District was created, which was a group of youth activists and teachers and other admin who were really interested in sustainability. And that was a really great tool for us to collaborate with adults and explain and communicate with clear transparency what we wanted. There was we talked about a bunch of different things, not just the declaration, but we did present the declaration to them. And with their support, we were able to present to the school board in around like March and April, and they passed the resolution unanimously. And then because of that, Sequoia Union High School District passed their own version of the resolution, and now Jefferson Union High School District is also interested. So we got a lot of our progress happened right as soon as we presented to the Sustainability District, and it took us like about 4 months of really slow progress, and then all of a sudden exponential progress as soon as we had a really great tool for us to collaborate on it in a virtual setting.
Yeah, so unlike Lilian and Atiya, I'm still in high school, and so really next year I'll be focusing on getting that climate action plan done as early as possible and forging the connection between students and the district sustainability committee to ensure that student projects are driven in order to tackle the areas in which we lack, and really using the baseline assessment as a basis for that. And also, I'm just beyond high school, I also hope to pursue a career in either civil or environmental engineering. Um, I'm just really excited to enter the green building industry and hopefully drive sustainable change through that, because I feel like our lifestyles essentially revolve around the spaces that we occupy. And so if those are environmentally friendly, then our habits will too.
So I'll go next. I mean, I'm going to college, but I will only be 30 to 40 minutes away. So I'm definitely going to keep track on this project and still stay in connection with the San Mateo County Youth Commission. And I'm at Berkeley this fall. I'm going to be an environmental economics and policy major. And Berkeley is the home of like all activism. So I whenever I find myself passionate about something, I'm not afraid to amplify my voice and find other people to connect with and work on. So I will just go with the flow and see what projects I'd like to work on there.
I just want to jump along that same narrative there. I mean, as a going to be a college freshman, obviously there are a lot of things that I don't know yet, like what I want to do, but I know for sure that my experience in environmental advocacy and also just with leadership within this group, project management, all of that will take me throughout my college career, and kind of my interest in sort of solution oriented thinking. And that's why I'm kind of interested in looking at policies and legislation through a focus on political science, or thinking about how we can bring actionable climate legislation and things like that. So I really do think that my background has been very beneficial, at least, and it will form sort of my career and just all the experiences that I'll have on the college campus, like Atiya was saying about activism and all of that.
But in terms of advice for others interested in this type of work, like my biggest advice is that you have no idea how powerful your voice is, and oftentimes we tend to underestimate ourselves. And so, like as cliche as this sounds, don't be afraid to pitch your ideas. Don't be afraid to amplify your voice, because chances are you will be heard and you will be listened to. We're often discouraged because it sometimes feels as though adults aren't as passionate about the environment as we are. But the reality is, I feel like a lot of times they're just unsure of where to start. And so hearing student input is really helpful. And so don't be afraid, and honestly just reach out to us if you're unsure of where to start. We've gone through the same process. We've probably faced the same obstacles that you might face. And so we have all the tools. We have a template, we have the model for district sustainability committee, and so feel free to model everything after us, and we'll be here to support. But just go out there and be loud.
And yeah, my advice is really similar to Maram. Like, don't have confidence in yourself. Don't be afraid to amplify your voice, because just think of like the worst case scenario, and the worst case scenario is really never that bad. And always find like-minded individuals and join groups, because strength in numbers is so important. And I mean, humans are, we do the best in groups. So yeah, just keep looking and keep speaking.
I'll obviously wholeheartedly agree with both Atiya and Maram, but I will just add one point. Obviously, from our lessons and our journey, you can see that it took a while. I mean, sometimes with activism, you have to learn patience, but at the same time, it's a balance between that and being able to advocate for yourself and asserting yourself in spaces and not being afraid to do so. When things are not going your way, when you're hitting a wall, how do you kind of creatively think of ways to either get someone's attention, or like Atiya was saying, strength in numbers? How do we communicate or amplify our message louder so that they can't not hear it? So yeah, all of those things, and sort of trust the learning process as you're going through. No one's perfect at activism or being a leader, and it's just throughout the project, I think the journey of coming to a point, whether or not your endpoint is something that you desired or originally thought would happen, I think the journey and the lessons you'll get along the way is really beneficial.